So Auntieways.
So Auntieways.
So Auntieways.
Girl.
What's the tea?
So Auntieways.
But you know what,
So
girl?
Auntieways.
My son called up just the other day. He
Hey.
said, yo, old daddy, can I munch that tray? Hold up, what's this? William. Oh, Willem,
Willem.
not William, FYI. People being particular.
It is Willem. That's correct. Not
Yeah.
William. That's right. And he gets pissed when people,
And his name is
it's
Willem
Willem.
Belli. But I kept thinking, wasn't that a famous attorney?
Who was that? There was a Bella Abzug
Ooh.
with the hats. Remember, none of the children in this room going to remember Bella Abzug. But
I
not
know
watching
that
Italy.
name.
So, Booby, what you're saying is that I
know
should
her.
start watching. I should
Yes.
start watching Italy.
Yeah, because you'll instantly see the unnecessary drama that starts to happen. And the one queen who gets everybody against her, she consistently tries it with everybody and gets
Okay.
everybody pissed
But
at
can
her
I tell
for-
you what, though? That's making some spicy television. Okay?
Thank you. It
That's
really
probably
does.
the best episode that Drag Race Italia will ever have
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
season.
Is
You
that-
And the
how many
the
episodes
queen
in?
that fills in as RuPaul, her name is Priscilla. He's very handsome out of drag.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's kind of butch out of
Yeah, totally. He's got tattoos all up his arms, and so when he does drag, he's got to cover his arms up for the
But
for
she's
the real hard down.
She's hard down.
She doesn't have to
Down.
cover her arms. Drag queens have tattoos.
Oh, but she needs to because it's
Mm.
butch tattoos.
My
it's
son
not like
called
that.
up just the other day. He said,
Hey,
yo,
hey.
old faggot, got
I
a bumper special cake. Can
I
you
will
teach
say-
me to trip? Can you? What?
I will say
Sorry.
Canada had their reunion last night, and it was a little spicy. It was
Really?
spicy and cute, and there was a little twist at the end that turned all the girls out. That no spoilers if you haven't seen it, but
Mm.
it was cute. I actually think that Canada might be the superior season to UK this season.
Mm. But honey, are you watching Drag Race Finland?
Finlandia?
Or honey, Drag Race Papua New Guinea? What?
Ooh, what?
Girl.
Mm-mm.
Category
Drag Race
is Aboriginal.
Malawi?
Yes, the Malawi,
Miss
darling.
Drag
You
Race
gotta see when they
Malawi,
get into the
honey.
reading is fundamental challenge where they
Exactly.
Honey, it's all click, click, click. This is Nancy, the Rastafarian Ramanoodle goat, saying, welcome to So Auntieways. What's happening?
And this is Miss Matinga.
get it right, learn it, and this is Booby.
Hello, welcome once again
Hey,
to So
everybody.
Auntieways. Hello, hello, hello. And hello to everyone in the room listening live. You are our patrons, friends and lovers, and sometimes bitter enemies, but we welcome you. And we're here for another round.
We sure
Yes.
Yes.
We sure are.
I think let's jump right in with the first segment, what we are featuring. And I just feel like, Miss Booby, you've got something good.
are. Do I? Come back to me.
Clearly, that was not a good guess. Matingo,
Wait,
what are you
just-
featuring, darling?
Yes. Oh, god damn it. Did you hear that? Can you hear the cup being placed down?
I heard a ka-dum, dum, dum.
It was click language. It was more click
My
language.
my mic is very sensitive.
Yeah,
It
darling.
sound right.
Yes.
Well,
What you
I'll start
feeling,
with what I'm
Matinga?
featuring.
Okay,
I'll
well,
start-
go ahead.
You know, what I'm featuring is...
Booby just called you a hua.
Well,
He was
she
like,
ain't
a
wrong.
hua. A
She
hua.
ain't-
Go ahead.
You're a hua. I'm featuring the magic of making your own meals. The other night, I made something called Meatless Meatballs. And although, yes, in the end, it was a disaster, it was a disaster of my own making. Now, I'm not going to lie. I bought them pre-packaged, pre-prepared. You know, they were frozen, but I figured, how hard could it be? It's meatless meatballs. It's supposed to take 8 to 9 minutes. And I just want to say it took me an hour and they were terrible, but I enjoyed the experience.
Of making them.
Okay. Of making them. They were disgusting. It was like plant-based, you know,
Mhm.
meatballs. And I guess the main ingredient was like chickpea flour or something.
Yeah.
Honey, I tried it in the frying pan. I tried it in the oven. I used the little toaster oven. I tried the convection setting. Disaster. She was
That's the thing. I was going to ask you, like, how did you cook them? But it looks like you overcooked them several different ways.
yes, girl. I should have read the instructions, but I didn't. I figured, how hard could this be? Well,
Yeah.
you know, girl, she came out much like me, crunchy and burnt on the outside and frozen solid on the inside
Yeah.
Mhm.
and tasteless. So
That's so you.
But
I'm
maybe if you had
basically-
like defrosted them and like thrown them in like, you know, some corn oil or something, they might have been okay.
yes, the directions say defrost them and then like put down like, you know, olive oil or whatever, and then like do this, do that, and be careful that the middle's not No. Did I eat them? Yes. Why? Because I'm tired. That's why.
hungry.
So what
Yeah.
I'm featuring is the magic of making your own food. And secondary thought, do you guys know bulletproof coffee?
No.
So I thought, okay, I came across this thing. It's called bulletproof coffee. It's supposed to be this way to have your coffee in a healthy, pre-diabetic friendly way. Again, I need to read these things all the way through because what I did was made some coffee and put half a stick of butter in my cup of coffee. That is not what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be you make this coffee and you add like a teaspoon of ghee butter and
Yeah.
pink Himalayan salt, and it's supposed
Right.
to. No, I'm just sitting there drinking coffee with half a stick of butter in it, and it was
Oh, God.
absolutely disgusting.
You know that ghee is clarified butter, so the milk fat has been removed. So
Right.
if you just put some breakstones in your coffee,
Yep.
you're gonna get like a greasy, oily cup of coffee.
And I choked. That's exactly what it was, and I choked it down like, oh, this is heart healthy. Wow. No, honey, I'm sitting there drinking basically a cup of melted butter with a little bit of coffee. It was so, and I'm like, oh, this is so good for my diabetes. Nope.
Well, probably to this
Ugh.
day, you have Mizell because you swore that it was a trick of Aretha Franklin's. That every time she would go on stage, right before she went on stage, she'd have like a big spoonful of lard.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
and because that's how she had that greasy, R&B tone.
greasy.
To this day, like I think Mizell has like a big spoonful of lard before he goes out to sing. You're gonna kill him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tony, good to see you.
Hello,
Hey,
Tony. Hello,
Tony.
Tony. Quick hello to Tony. Hello, everyone. Sorry I'm late.
It's all right. You're here.
Greasy and oily sounds like my last date, and your date probably tasted better than my coffee. So,
Also,
Miss
was it
Matilda.
Tony? Was it Tony, or was it Tony, Tone?
I think it was Tony. Like
It was Tony,
With three different ways of spelling it.
Tony, Toni, and Tone,
E.
right?
Okay,
Yeah.
so it
But what
was
it-
Tony.
Yeah.
But what did they sing? Because
It feels good.
It feels
No,
good.
that feels
that was like
It feels good.
like New Jack Swing kind of madness.
Yes.
Yes.
Did it feel
Yes.
good?
It didn't feel all that good.
It did not feel that good.
It was
No,
all
it did-
right.
It did not feel that good. No.
Yeah, it was
no.
okay.
So, Matinga, my darling, what are you featuring this week?
Okay, so this week, and this actually plays into my crush a little bit as well, but we'll discuss that later. This week I am featuring the entire canon of Almodovar, the director. I love Pedro Almodovar. I go see his films in the movie theater every single time they come out. They come out sporadically. Maybe this time I'll have to wait for the VOD because I'm not so keen on going back to the movie theaters as of yet, although I may break down and go see Spider-Man. But he has a new film that just came out. It's not here in the States yet. It is called Madres Paralelas, Parallel Mothers, with a bunch of queens that have worked with him before. The bitch that's in Veneno,
Really?
who plays the second Veneno, Rosie De Palma, like a old school Almodovar
Wow.
girl. Of course, Penelope Cruz is the lead, and this auteur, I mean everything he's ever done. Women on the Verge, Pain and
Yes.
Glory,
The Skin I'm In, so
The
good.
Skin I'm In. I remember going to see The Skin I'm In, and it was the first film that our dear friend Michael Doss had ever seen. And it's an incredible film, almost like a Frankenstein story, really. And right at the end, it ends on this weird moment. And I remember Doss looked at me, he said, "No, is that it? No, it can't end there. No." But his films make you feel stuff, and they're so beautiful. And his last film, Pain and Glory, with Antonio Banderas, was like the artist's journey, and it was really, really beautiful. And I can't wait to see his new movie. I mean, we've got the date checked off.
Tell me the name
Wow.
again.
It is called
The-
Madres Paralelas, Parallel Mothers.
Parallel Mothers. Okay.
And he shot it, safely during the pandemic. I read a little bit about it. I don't want to read too much about it because I want to be surprised when I go see it. But apparently, he's going back to telling a woman's story. I mean, this man, he tells gay, LGBTQ, all types of stories. But
And
like
lots
tells
of
great,
stuff about mothers.
but lots of stuff about mother, including a film called All About My Mother.
Yeah.
And even Pain and Glory has a lot to do with his mother as
And
well.
even Women on the Verge of a Janet Jackson breakdown.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
fucking, Spaniard auteur, Pedro Almodovar. Get into it. It's amazing.
What was the one with the nuns selling coke?
Oh my God. It was so good. That is called
Dark Habits? Is
Dark
it Dark
Habits.
Habits? Dark
Yeah.
Habits, yes.
But what is the one? There's one. It's called "What Have I Done to Deserve This," where the mom is hooked on speed and sells her 11-year-old to a pedophile dentist.
What?
And it's
That old yarn.
fierce. Yeah,
Ooh.
honey.
That
It's
old
not to be
chestnut.
trifled with.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Miss Booby, darling, what are you featuring this week?
Well, I just remembered something. Disney Channel, which I'm blessed to receive, has a
Yes.
show that I find hysterical. It's just me. It's The World According to Jeff Goldblum. He
So
tackles
good.
different topics, and this week he was monsters, and he talks about his filming The Fly and getting into the makeup for it, and
David Cronenberg
and-
film. Amazing.
yeah. And he talks to some Bigfoot hunters who actually, go out looking for Bigfoot, and the reason why we have monsters in mythology and in our lives, and
Why do we?
because we like to be afraid. We, and he goes into a haunted house, like with people jumping out. But his humor is so hysterical, and he's a complete ham. And he looks at the camera, and he, invites you to join in his campiness. It's hysterical. It's called World According to Jeff Goldblum.
Work.
And he's also, isn't he in he's in Thor Ragnarok?
Yes.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Major villain. Fabulous acting.
And makes an appearance in the What If series as the same character.
Yes.
Yes. The Collector.
Yeah. He's not the collector.
No, not
That's
the Collector.
Benicio del Toro.
Benicio del Toro. He's
It-
his brother.
He's kind of like a ringleader of some kind of death battle circus show.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Of a kind of like a intergalactic fight club.
Yeah,
And-
kind of fabulous.
Correct me
Yeah.
if I'm wrong. Was Jeff Goldblum married to Gina Davis, or am I making that up in my head?
Yes,
They were together.
for a short time. Yes, they fell in love while filming The Fly.
Yes. Okay, you're right. That's why I thought it was in my head, because they were
Yep.
co-stars. Interesting. I'll have to
A film
check
I
that
haven't
out.
seen in so long that I remember very little about it. Maybe
The
it's time
Fly?
to revisit that. Yeah.
Oh, fabulous! It's on Hulu now.
Creepy. It's creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
And
body
plays
horror. I know it's very body
And
horror.
his body was fab at the time. Like he was working out, so he just looked
Yeah.
really great with it.
Honey, his body still might be fab.
Could be. I think
We
he's
don't
a little
know.
thin now.
He's trimming the waist, darling.
Tony
Not-
says Jeff Goldblum was apparently hung like a horse.
Is
I heard
for
that.
real?
Mm-hmm.
Or is he hung like a fly, darling?
Horsefly.
Yeah, but he's also in his early 70s, I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah.
it would be like a really just taking a bunch of
Blue.
Hubba Bubba, like taking like 10 sticks of Hubba Bubba and just putting it in your mouth.
Right.
Now blow. Ooh, yeah.
Ooh,
Chew on that.
heavy. Salivate.
Yeah, no, that's not the taste, honey. That is not the taste. But some people in this world, they are the taste, and they can stir up certain moistures and things that make you want to crush on them. You know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, Miss
Yeah.
Matenga, I know you got your crush at the ready. So I'm going to
Yeah.
pull up his picture, and you tell us, who is this fine man?
Yes. So my crush is the Argentine actor Leonardo Sbaraglia. And he is a
Ooh,
journeyman
love the
actor in Latin American film, and he's done many an Almodovar film. He's actually in a film that me and Michael happen to love called Relatos Salvajes. That if you've never, it's an Argentine film. If you've never seen this film, Relatos Salvajes, I suggest you rent it today. And
wow.
that is him. He
Look at
is
that.
beautiful. He plays the ex-lover in the last Almodovar film, which is called Pain and Glory, and has a small part, but the entire film turns on the few little scenes that he's in, and he brings so much depth and so much humanity and so much soulfulness to the part, and
Look at
it's
those
really
eyes.
beautiful. He's sexy.
Look at those
Plays gay
beautiful
boys all the
eyes.
time.
Mm.
Just a wonderful actor, and an Almodovar actor, but also an actor all over Latin America, Mexico as well. And I just think he is the hottest. It's very soulful actor.
His eyes are very sweet, but there's danger there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Also, I'm
and
living for
wounded.
the scruff that he has.
Yeah.
That would be, honey, chafing your thighs. That would feel real good.
Honey, just call that my new drag name is Chafing
Miss
Thighs.
Chafing Thighs. Oh, I had a
Miss
couple of new drag names this week. Apparently, there's a town in Florida called Gasparilla.
Yes.
And I thought that would be a hilarious drag name.
Yes.
Gasparilla.
It's
Miss
also a drink.
Gasparilla?
Isn't Gasparilla a drink? It's like a root
I think
beer.
sarsaparilla is.
Oh, sarsaparilla. That's right. Not
Miss
Gasparilla.
Very close.
Right.
I think Gasparilla could be a fierce drag name. Or how
Yeah.
about Miss Rosie Spoonbill? Miss Rosie Spoonbill. It's kind of bird.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
How about
is she part bird?
she's part bird, darling. How about Anesta Vipers? Miss Anesta Vipers.
I
No.
don't get it.
You never heard the expression Anesta Vipers?
Oh, a
A
nest,
nest
of
of
vipers.
vipers. A nesta.
I
A
got it.
nesta for you.
Vernesta Vipers?
Vernesta vipers.
Vernesta Vapors, darling.
Yes.
Yes. Well, yes, Matenga, your crush is certainly hot and tasty.
I had
Yes.
a drag king name the other day. It was Nico Teen Patch.
Love it.
I like it. I like it.
Nicotine patch.
Don't blow smoke up my ass.
She's no Chicky McNugget.
Miss Chicky McNuggets, honey.
But I
Her
like
stripper
it.
name, Chicky McNuggets. Don't sleep.
But I like
honey, I will die on that mountain. I will
Uh-huh.
die on that mountain.
Miss Booby, you look like you got something to say.
I was like, why are we talking about strippers? It keeps on coming up again and again.
And it'll come up again and again and again.
Yes.
Miss Booby, do you have a crush you'd like to share with us?
Boy, do I.
All right, let's get into Booby's crush for the week.
Let me pull him up. He
Pull
is
him up to the bumper leg.
not in the same political party as I am. However, I find him incredibly sexy. His name is Adam Kenzinger. He's a Republican
Oh.
senator.
Mm-hmm.
And he is part of the January 6th committee, part of the
He's
two
one
Republicans,
of two
him and Liz
Republicans
Cheney,
that were willing,
to hold people in particular accountable for their actions in January 6th. And I just
Yeah.
think he's really cute.
He's cute. Let's see a little more of Miss Adam.
Yeah.
There.
I mean, his
Where is he
politics,
from?
his
Is he
politics
from?
are abysmal.
Is he from Pennsylvania? It's something.
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, he's sexy.
He's sexy. I'll give him that. But you know what? Like Aaron Schock is also quite sexy, and there's pictures of his cock out there. But like, I wouldn't touch
Who?
Aaron Schock.
Who?
Aaron
Oh,
Schock,
honey.
former House Republican Aaron Schock,
The
who
one
then-
that paid all that taxpayer money to have his office look like Downton Abbey.
like Downton Abbey, and then
What?
also a big homo and like hot, like a hot guy.
Yeah,
But he was in the closet, and then he did all these anti-gay legislations. But
Oh
like,
no.
but like there was rumors of him being gay, and then like I have seen video of him
Mhm.
having sex.
She
like,
nasty.
cock. She's nasty. He's fucking hot. He is hot. But like, and then
What's
he
his
finally
name?
came out, Aaron Schock.
If
and
you
he
go
finally
on
did
Data
come out.
Lounge, yeah, he did come out. He's no
He
longer in
finally
office.
did come out, and he's no longer in office. And he's kind of like, yeah, I was fighting my inner demons, and good for you, Mary. Now go off into anonymity because no one
Yeah.
wants to
Poof.
see you. It doesn't matter that you're cute. You are not invited to the family picnic.
right.
You don't get to bring the potato salad. Nice cock,
At
nice
oil.
body, but she's at oil. It's an
Yeah.
at oil.
She's at
feeling.
oil. So I had mentioned Data Lounge in a previous episode.
Yes.
There's many an Aaron Shock thread on that site with
Yeah,
off-site links to foul footage and
Yeah.
photos of Miss Shock.
Yeah, she's put it
Yo.
out
Doing
there.
what?
Honey,
Showing her body and her
she
dick and
prolapsed her
ass
hole
and-
just the other day.
Yeah,
Oh.
like showing like
Real
sex.
stink, honey. Real
Yeah.
stink. And I'm
Stinky.
not feeling that.
Before we
Yeah.
get to your crush,
Yeah.
Mr. Diamond,
Yeah.
what are your both of your opinions on Colton Underwood's new docu-series on Netflix called I'm Coming Out?
I'd rather see Carrie Underwood.
It's the thing about Colton is, listen, live your life, find your truth. I came out when I was about 14 because my mother had asked me 3 times. I finally thought it's time. She's asked me so much. I guess she really wants to know, and that it's
Right.
obvious. But some people, it's really a struggle and it's a battle. And like some people that we know, people Howie and people like that, came out later in life. Like it is, it's people like David Archuleta. So fine, you came out a little bit later, but he stalked his ex from The Bachelor apparently, and kind of rough with her, and was, that was an abusive relationship, and it was probably because he was faking it and he wasn't really into it, and he
Right.
was trying to find himself, and now he's trying to come out, but it's like it's very orchestrated in the media, and it feels a little false for me. Live your
Yeah.
life, girl. I'm happy for you, but I'm not interested in your journey.
Live your life. Love the
But
life.
you live your life, girl. Love the life you live. Get roughed up in Cabo.
Right.
You do it
Right.
up, girl. You're very pretty, but I'm not feeling your journey.
I think that the media is trying to make him the poster boy of what it's like to,
What it feels like for a girl.
to come out, and that he's a great example of what it's like to live your truth. And the problem I have with it is there are people who lived their truth earlier than him and went through tougher
Yeah.
times living their
Yeah.
truth. Like
Yeah.
he's got it pretty easy. And so to watch a documentary about him
So
coming
easy.
out and schmoozing with other gay celebrities who are trying to, lend him credence, I'm not really for it. I think he's good looking,
Yeah.
but that's about it.
I'm getting more sincerity, and also less talk in the public forum from somebody like a Carl Nassib, somebody like a David Archuleta. Like they
Right.
came out, they put it down, but that like their public persona has not become about their
Right.
journey.
Right.
And so and also we know people that were 14 and thrown out by their families and had to go hook and had to do stuff, and your journey's difficult for you, and everyone's journey is unique.
Right.
But why is it the white heteronormative looking guy that
Right,
gets
right.
all the press?
Right.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. I don't know anything really about this guy. I've seen pictures, obviously. Yes, handsome, very handsome in a conventionally attractive way. Absolutely.
Sure.
He'll probably be, chunked out in 20 years, whatever, live your life. Yeah, it's because he's going to be the poster boy for
Right.
middle of the road, milk toast, coming out, whatever. But I'm going to say this. It's show business. He
Right.
saw an opportunity. He took
He
it.
grabbed it.
I'm not
Right.
going to watch that documentary or
No,
whatever it
neither.
is. But at the same time,
But make
I've
your
never
money,
seen-
girl.
Make your money. I've never seen The Bachelor. Do you know who's going to watch that coming out documentary? These women that watch The Bachelor.
Right.
Right.
That's who this is being made for. It's not being made for us.
Right.
So I get it. It's show business.
Business.
It's show business. I don't like it. I
Right.
don't feel it. Would I hit it? Sure. But I'm not going to watch that shit. But if you want to watch that shit, watch that shit. You want to make your money? Make your money, ho. Make your money, make your coins.
I think
Also, who names their
I think
child
he's more
Colton?
likely to hit you than actually hit it.
Get the party started on a Friday night, darling. Get the party. Now, speaking of getting the party started on a Friday night,
Richard Haney is here. Yes.
Richard
Hey,
Haney's
Richard.
here. Hello, Richard, darling. Welcome, darling. The last episode that we recorded, at the very, very, very end of the special patrons-only Q&A chat session, somebody gave a shout-out for a hottie, who I then looked up and thought, ooh, hottie. And then I mentioned it to a friend who said, oh, I watched that show. Now, I'm not going to pronounce this man's name right, okay? Have you guys seen the show called Outlander?
No.
No, but I
on-
know that people love it. Love
Now,
it.
the guy's name is Sam, I'm going to say Hewen. I don't know how to pronounce it exactly, but this is the dude.
Ah, yes. He was in Sex and the City,
Was he?
Wasn't
No,
Samantha's boy?
It looks like him, but no, it is a different.
Oh, okay.
actor.
Okay.
Now, I guess that he's authentically Scottish. I'm not sure. If you haven't seen the show, it's about
got
this
a brogue.
woman and she's time traveling and
And it's a
yes,
time
brogue.
travel thing. Yeah.
Time travel, sort of science fiction,
Yeah.
rom-com, fantasy, black and white, darling, for good measure, darling.
Yes.
But he is tasty, ooh la la, and he wears kilts and he's muscly, and I just
Wow.
think he's absolutely yummy.
Yeah.
he
Down
is
with a man in a
deep.
kilt for sure. For sure.
I don't understand why they wear these kilts, but I like
With
that
no
they
underwear.
with no underwear. What is the point of a kilt?
That is well, I don't want to. I'm not an expert.
No, go
on
ahead,
kilt-
bring it.
I'm not an expert on kilt wearing, but I have heard, generally speaking, that
Yes.
gentlemen who wear kilts in Scotland will often go commando.
I think they do. And now, is
Yeah.
that
No, that you have to go. If you're wearing a kilt authentically, it is commando.
Right.
It has to be commando.
Interesting.
Hi, Michael Doss. I just want to say, how do you know he's got a big old dong?
Thank you.
Yeah.
So the Sam, is it Hewan? I don't even know how to pronounce it, but I just think he's so adorable. I love a good ginger.
Yeah.
He's hot and tasty and delicious. I'm enjoying the show. And
Word. It's
yeah,
not your
that's my,
type of show. You're not a
my crush.
romance.
Do you know what though? The
kinda
show is
feeling.
it's really fun. It's probably about 5 or 6 seasons in.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
took me a good 1 or 2 episodes to get in, but now I'm in, honey, and I'm gonna keep watching. And he's part of the reason.
Right.
That is my
Right.
crush.
Go on.
Now, I wish I could remember who had recommended him because their taste is impeccable. Impeccable taste in hot men, which brings us to a segment we like to call Just the Facts.
Remember that episode of Facts of Life when Mrs. Garrett got caught stealing?
And this is where we discuss an episode of the classic 1980s sitcom, The Facts of Life. And today we're going to do some commentary and some extra commentary on some special content. But first, we're going to start with season 5. I'm dancing as fast as I can.
Season 5, episode 8, Dancing as Fast as I Can. And the episode opens up with the girls are preparing for Mrs. Garrett's birthday.
Her
And they're
100th, I believe.
her 100th and 10th birthday. And some of the older girls are going to take her on a special evening out. And then, of course, Nat and I was going to call her Coco.
Nat and Coco.
Nat and Tootie give her a very cute apron. And that's where we start off.
Was it cute?
It was hand painted and it had her face on it. So
It
I
was
can't
hand
think
painted, but
I thought it was
looked
cute.
it. I don't
thought
know.
it
I
was-
think somebody in the props department did that like 2 minutes before they taped.
Yeah.
It didn't look that cute.
No.
It says, "Quiche me, you fool."
Yes.
Yes.
Is that what it said? Okay.
And she
Okay.
sells it. Miss Garrett's like, oh, girl.
She likes
she
it.
loved it.
Yeah.
And at this point, we are in the world of Edna's Edibles. This is season 5.
Yeah, we have jumped ahead to some of the more classic episodes of Facts of Life. So, I was actually struck by how grown up the girls looked because we jumped like 2 seasons forward and all the girls look great.
Yeah.
They look great and they've become women.
Yeah. I think I didn't love Blair's hair in this one.
No,
It was little dykey.
It was too, it was a little chunky. The hair was a little chunky.
Mullety.
Joe looking like Joe. Yeah, but it was a
Yeah.
little mullety.
Yeah.
Natalie looking kind of pretty. Tootie looking pretty. Mrs. Garrett still hanging in there.
still
Yeah.
hanging in there.
Yes. So, but they're living over the store of Edna's Edibles.
Yes. Yeah.
And they're still in Eastland, although I think Joe and Blair are probably in college now.
Joe and Blair in college. The other 2 are still at Eastland.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Joe and Blair, being of age, 18 plus, are going to take her for an evening out. Subplot: Blair has a steady boyfriend named
Cliff.
Cliff. What did we think of Cliff?
Super cutie pie, and I want
Uh-huh.
to say that just with the spare amount of information that was given in the opening salvos of the episode, once Cliff walked in, I knew exactly what was going to happen during the episode. Like, it was telegraphed so hard.
Yeah.
It was
But
the 80s.
we'll get
darling.
to it. We'll get to it. But Cliff is a medical student, striving and trying to make a living, and super cute and
Yeah.
smitten with
Blair.
Miss Blair.
I thought Cliff was cute. Clearly, he has a thing for those vests,
Yeah.
those Patagonia style vests. He was very,
Yeah.
very into them in every scene. Very handsome, very blonde, very 80s, with the most fuzzy caterpillar eyebrows I've ever seen on a man. Those were
I
some
didn't notice.
eyebrows. Oh my Lord. Because,
Yeah.
because he's so blonde, they blend in with his skin tone.
Thick blonde hair,
Yeah.
just very like a handsome med student.
And
Yeah.
he and Blair have a sort of like sweet, he calls her monkey. They have the sweet little romance. But they keep emphasizing med school is expensive. He a broke ass,
He a broke
Hustler.
ass hustler who doesn't ask her for anything, but is
He-
out
She
here.
likes
He's poor.
that.
He's poor.
He
Right.
takes the bus.
Yes,
And she thinks that's cute.
She thinks it's cute,
Yeah.
which just turned my stomach.
she ain't
So
gonna
anyway.
take the bus with him.
No, hell no. No.
To
And
the
by
symphony.
to the symphony,
right.
darling. And
She's
by
like,
the way,
get on the bus.
she's covered head to toe with her 80s outfit and her boots. Miss
Yes.
Blair's covered head to toe, and Joe wearing some unflattering clothes, but we'll get to it. So,
Yeah.
Tootie and Natalie can't go because it's an over 18 jamboree.
Event.
They're taking Mrs. Garrett to, and they go to the Wedgewood Club.
It's called something like Wellingtons. But clearly
Wellingtons?
it's supposed to be a take on Chippendales.
Right. And so they get into it. They
Or
order
Wedgewood. It's the Wedgewood.
Wedgewood?
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
supposedly class. Oh,
W.
Wedgewood, right.
Where
like
I want to say,
furniture.
because remember Chippendales, piece of furniture,
Wedgwood.
Wedgewood. But
The
I
only
also want to
Chippendale
say,
I ever sat on had 2 legs.
thank you, darling. Thank you.
Yes.
Caress. And but I do want to say that the club was filled with bartenders and dancers, and it was that rare time on a sitcom where they just didn't hire actors. Like every one of those guys was fucking hot. Like was hot. Like they didn't just hire like any schmoes out there. Like I
Right.
actually feel like maybe they went to Chippendales and were like, "Oh, loan us some of your
Spoiler,
dancers."
the dancers were actual Chippendales dancers.
Yeah,
They were.
of course.
Yeah.
Because they looked so damn good.
I don't think the guy
And-
that was the waiter, but the ones on stage, Freddie the fireman and this one and that one, real
Yeah.
Chippendales dancers. Yeah.
But
So
even the
obviously,
waiter looked
it's a
damn
strip
good.
club. It's a
Yeah, he
strip club.
did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's
so-
an upscale ladies strip club, and they
Till
they
Mrs.
take
Garrett gets
for
some
her
drink in
birthday.
her.
And Miss Garrett gets tipsy. Like, and I also have to say that like her girls, that she has raised these girls since they were like young ladies, like really
Mhm.
since they were children, and they just walk into this strip club, and she's like, "Oh, okay, well we're gonna go with this." Yeah, and
Yeah.
she's taken aback. It's cute. It's cute. And there's it has a cute little flirtation with the waiter. And I actually thought the waiter was quite charming.
Yes.
Mhm.
It was a cute scene.
Wearing those tight pants.
And then
Black,
one of the dancers comes out, and he was a fireman, and he breaks it down all the way to his speedos.
Yeah.
Like to his speedos, and he looked amazing. Like it was a lot of flesh for 1983 television.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
They were all super sexy. The cop, the fireman, the cowboy, all of it.
Yeah.
I will say
The cowboy
Did no-
was cunt.
nobody serving booty and all of them cunt.
Nobody, right? But the cowboy was particularly cunt. Like he was
Yeah.
beautiful, but she was cunt, honey.
Like when they start serving those high kicks, I was like, up a steep
Yeah.
and very narrow
I was like,
stairway.
"Way."
Shablam.
Shablam. So then, and the MC, I didn't know what to make of him. Him and his little
He was
schlocky
very
happy
the
joke.
male version of Showgirls, where she's or she
Yeah.
So the show is going on. Mrs. Garrett's getting wasted,
And having a
And,
good old time.
having a good old time. And then the last dancer comes out, who is Dr.
Dr.
Love.
Love.
Dr. Love.
Yeah. Which
And
is a
of
fabulous
course-
tune.
He
Down.
takes off his scrubs with a hot, lean, delicious body.
Yeah.
And of course, it's Blair's boyfriend, Cliff.
Yeah. And like literally in the first minute and a half of this show, I was like, I bet you Cliff is one of these dancers. Like,
Knew
didn't you know it? I was like,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
hadn't remembered this episode, but I was like, I bet you Cliff is one of the dancers. And of course,
He
like
had
the
a
girls
great
have been
body.
great body, beautiful guy.
Yeah.
And of course, like the girls who've been having fun all night and flirting with the dancers and connecting with them. And Blair is aghast. She is aghast.
Yeah.
She's gaped and gagged.
She
And
storms
they-
out, no?
Well,
she
no,
doesn't, she kind of freezes.
she freezes
He,
and then
he runs off stage.
yeah, and then she storms out.
Right.
Right.
And she's
And
got
Mrs.
a real,
Garrett is gooped.
Mrs. Garrett is gooped, and like Blair's got a real problem with it, and I have a problem with Blair
With her
having
problem.
a problem with it. Yeah,
Why, Dr. Love, I didn't recognize you with your clothes on.
Blair, I'm sorry. I mean, I just wish that it hadn't happened. I know I embarrassed you.
Embarrassed me. You lied to me. Cliff, you're a male stripper. If I'd known that, I never would have gone out with you.
Well, maybe that's why I never told
A
you.
stripper.
Yeah.
First of all, be an exotic dancer, and even let's take it a step further. Body work, sex work, ain't no shame in that game. Like people
Right.
out here struggling, trying to do what they got to do. And there's countries all over the world where these activities are not only legal, but they are, controlled, like by the, they're sanctioned by the government, and they're controlled by the government, where you have to stay safe and you have to do it certain ways. And there is no shame in this. Like, first of all, body work is not to equate being an exotic dancer with body work, because they don't necessarily meet. They could. But she feels, disgust, and she's ashamed, and she's like, you're out there, swinging your shit for these women. It's like, it's a gig. It's a gig.
What was
She knows
she
that he's
doing 20 minutes before he came out?
enjoying it. I was really like, and also Joe, who's usually like the more level-headed one, is also
Right.
quite over
Very
it.
judgmental.
Right.
But Miss Garrett is like, girls.
Oh, come on, Mrs. G. He was up there stripping in front of all those screaming women.
Yes. We were screaming pretty good there, weren't we?
It's just a job. Let's bring it down enough. If
Right.
you care for somebody, because of course this all
Yeah,
leads
but you
back
know
to a
what? With
conversation.
Joe, I agree. Joe is usually more level-headed, and being a gangster from the Bronx, she should be like, whatever, Cardi B, strip, take your shit off.
Yeah.
However, she has an angle because she looking at Blair like, that's my woman.
Yeah.
That's my woman.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm gonna break them up, honey. That's my woman.
Oh,
Okay?
is that what you're saying?
That's what she's like egging it on, like, yeah, Blair, he's a gross pig. Get rid of him.
He's a man.
He's a man,
Well,
honey.
he follows them back to the house that very same evening, and
I guess on his
explains to her-
bike.
yeah, on his bike or something. And maybe this time he took a cab, because he clearly had tips.
Got coined.
But and they have it out, and he tells her, hey, I care about you. I should have let you know what I was doing to make money, but maybe he was a little embarrassed by it. Like, and I get that part. Like,
Right.
if we've been dating for a while and I find out of nowhere that you're a stripper, I wouldn't care that you were a stripper. I would care that you didn't tell me.
Right.
Like, that's the part that would upset me, but I would get over it, because I'd be like, yo, my man is fine.
Right.
And she sees him out, and it's like,
In a real
feels like
snotty,
it's over. Yeah.
judgmental way.
Like, she opens the door, like it was really hurtful.
With stink face.
It was stinky, yeah. And it was like, dude, like, you've got this beautiful guy who's super smart, who's making a little money on the side. Like, girl.
And he's going to be a doctor.
And he's going to be a doctor. We happen to know girls who will remain nameless, many, many years ago, that were,
Girls and guys.
Girls and guys that were high-end exotic dancers. And these girls were making their money, and they were going to school. And and I remember the famous quote from one of them was, these guys, they think they're going to get fucked,
Right.
but really they're just gonna, what does she used to say? Oh, they're
Well,
not
it's
going
like-
to get they think they're going to get laid, but they're just going to get fucked,
They're just going to get fucked. Well, it's like
because
Cardi
they want the money,
says,
but they're not going to get laid.
and God, ride the clock, not the cock.
Right,
Darling.
right. These girls that are making $10,000 a night, you might get a lap dance in the champagne room, but they're not having sex with these people.
Did you think it was weird that Cliff decided to have his stage persona be a doctor as a med student? Like,
It
come
was
on,
a little
Cliff.
bit, a little bit
Think
on
a
the,
little, hun.
honey, but we couldn't like take a hip hop class, please? Because the Chippendales dancers were known for being able to dance. By the way, there is a documentary about the Chippendales dancers where, there was murder and money laundering and intrigue
I
that
think there's a
went down.
podcast called "What's Your Fantasy."
Yeah, it's interesting. I forget where this documentary just came out, like maybe 6 months ago. But it's really, really interesting.
Escandalo.
Yeah, no, it was Escandalo, darling.
So Tootie and Natalie
My new
come.
drag name, Escandalo,
Escandalo,
darling.
darling. Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner.
Yeah.
Miss Escandalo, darling.
So do what you got to do, and there's no shame in it.
And Tootie and Natalie come down like, honey, they hungry. They hungry for some meat, beefcake, beefcake, beefcake. And also, Joe was taking pictures, which I did not like, and gives the camera to Natalie, because Natalie's like, were there naked guys? Were there naked guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have a nice time? Were the guys naked? Did you get pictures of the naked guys?
Here, I hope they're in focus.
Is Photomat open at 2 a.m.?
And Mrs. Garrett is drunk, and her basement be flooded, and all of it. So
Yeah.
flash forward 3 days. Mrs. Garrett finally sobering up. Finally.
Yeah.
Blair toodles down the stairs, and Actually, in this part of it, Blair is a little bit like, I don't know, maybe I went too far. And Joe is really being nasty about Cliff's chosen profession.
Right.
Yeah, and
And
but what I think is interesting is that Joe is that Blair. Now you're feeling sorry. You treated him so bad, and now you feel sorry. And like, what do you expect? Like,
Right.
you like that this guy's gonna come, crawling back to you after you humiliated him and
but he
treated him bad.
does.
Well, I actually think that the ending is open ended.
It's ambiguous.
It's ambiguous. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he clearly wants her back, but they
Right.
don't say that they're gonna get back together. And I don't think you ever see him again.
I gagged
And
at the ending.
I
So
gagged at the ending too because it's so it's
Abrupt.
so like abrupt
It's
and
very
like,
abrupt. So Cliff
it's
comes
out of
back.
nowhere. Yeah,
Mrs. Garrett, Joe helps Mrs. Garrett up to the bathroom because clearly she's still drunk 3 days later, needs to throw up. And Mrs. Garrett's going to give her some lessons on life because that's what Mrs. Garrett do.
yeah,
And
some
Cliff-
lessons.
Some lessons. And Cliff and Blair have a probably literal come to Jesus moment.
Well, he knocks on the door out of nowhere and like comes in and has like a really sweet moment of like, can we talk?
Mm.
Do you want to talk with me? And it's
Mhm.
very tentative and it's very fraught. And and that's why Joe and Miss Edna like leave the room, and they're just like, you feel like they're just about to have like something real happen, and it just ends.
Do you want to talk?
And I was
Right.
like, whoa.
There's no real
What
follow-up.
happened?
What
Yeah.
happened?
What
Do they get back
happened?
together? Do we ever see Cliff again? Did he quit his
And-
job?
And it is insinuated in the very beginning that because Blair was able to overlook all these things that she would find important in a relationship, that she was actually falling in love.
Mm.
Yeah.
So,
I
it was
think
bigger
they did
than a
have
deal.
chemistry, actually.
They did.
Yes.
I totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I
thought
have
he
a-
was super sweet. Like his energy was really like
He was sweet.
Yeah.
Question and comment. First, I'll start with the comment. They kept saying, "Oh, but I need the money, and he's doing it for the money." Why isn't it okay for him to do it just because he likes to do it? That's not an option. It always has to be,
and
"Oh,
that's-
because I'm desperate for the money."
Or
How
I'm
about
going to
just-
school. Yeah, maybe you just like it. Maybe you like the
Maybe
attention.
you like it. Maybe you're good at it.
Maybe you a hoe.
Yeah.
But we're looking at it from the perspective of now. Maybe you a hoe.
Maybe you a hoe.
That's the comment.
Ain't
Why does it
nothing
have-
wrong with being a hoe.
No, like if
Yeah.
you like to do it, do it. Question:
But
how much
there's
of
that
this
song, "Can't Make a Wife Out of a Hoe."
is that a real song?
A
That is a real song,
hoe.
yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
How much of this ambiguous ending and Blair's consternation was informed by Lisa Whelchell's real life Christianity? Just wondering.
When did she find Jesus?
Tuesday.
Pretty early.
Pretty early. Oh,
Well,
Yeah,
you know,
she
the
also-
episode where Natalie where Natalie lost her virginity, Blair's not in that episode.
Yeah, she asked. It's the only episode of Facts of Life that she does not participate in, and
Mhm.
she asked, "Can I just be written out of this one episode?" And they did.
wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Mhm,
I mean, she
mhm.
went on to do Christian music, and
Yeah.
and
She lived in Park Slope, Brooklyn.
really.
She was attending a church there in Park Slope. That was the big news in the
Praise
area.
it.
Was that
Is she
Blair
Jehovah?
was-
Is she Jehovah's?
No, like born again or
Yeah.
or some very heavy duty Christian religion.
Yes.
Praise it.
yes.
Well, I
Praise
think
it.
that was season 5. So I'm dancing as fast as I can. But this
Yeah.
conversation about Lisa Whelchel brings us smoothly into our topic 2A or 2B, which was the recent Facts of Life live episode, which all anyone could
Yes.
talk about the next day was Lisa Whelchel.
Oh my God. Lisa Whelchel. So they've done this a couple times. They did Good Times. They've done All in the Family.
Jeffersons.
The Jeffersons. They've done like these live episodes of these show with like brand new all-star casts. And they often bring back the original cast for either a quick cameo or just to show up at the end and say, "Hey, everybody."
Right.
So for this one, they had Lisa Whelchel come out and sing the theme song in her Eastland
Yeah.
uniform. And I don't know if you guys, when she turned the corner, I actually got a start because I was like, whoa. Like I had to look at her really hard because she looked exactly the same. It
Yeah.
was so fierce. Like I was like, girl, it actually, like I was like, is this a flashback? Like, what's happening? And then of
Incredible.
course if you look really, really hard, then you're like, oh yeah, this is, she's 58. But she
Right.
fucking looked so
looked damn amazing.
good.
Yeah.
Like I was like, you better work, girl.
Honey, the internet blew up over how good she looked.
Christianity does a body good.
Hashtag Blair Witch Project 2021 because she looked good.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
trended on Twitter the entire next day.
That's amazing.
She
Yeah.
looked incredible. And also the fact that she was wearing the uniform highlighted how much she hasn't aged.
Yeah.
It was like the character, like she could have fucking done it as the part. And I will say that they had an all-star cast. They had
Who was the girl?
Jennifer Aniston played Blair. We have Ann Dowd playing Mrs. Garrett in both episodes. They did Different Strokes and Facts of Life. You had Jason Bateman and who's Amy Poehler's ex-husband?
Will Arnett was Dink.
Will Arnett was Dink. I fucking loved
And
him.
Gabrielle Union as Tootie and Catherine Hahn as Joe.
Yes.
Who was my favorite. And
I thought she overacted so
I loved it.
hard.
I loved it. I loved it. It was so ridiculous.
Yeah. It was ridiculous.
And who played Natalie? Alison Tolman.
Alison Tolman. An
From
incredible.
Handmaid's Tale?
I don't know. I've never seen her
I've never
before.
seen her before.
But so they did the episode that we covered 2 weeks ago. Kids Can Be Cruel about the box lunch auction.
Box lunch auction. And
What did y'all think of Jennifer Aniston's face?
I thought she looked beautiful. She does look beautiful. But I also felt like this watching the Friends reunion. I feel like before she goes and does something, she has like a little retouch of, and this is just me freeballing here.
Right.
I feel like
Porky Pig in your commentary.
I feel like she, retouches, like maybe she has some fillers and, and so what happens is like in a still picture, she looks absolutely beautiful.
Right.
But in real life, her face doesn't move and her eye, and like there's no expression in the eyes.
Yeah.
And there's something kind of weirdly false about it.
Right. Right.
Did you
That's
think
exactly
that-
what we said.
Like all the filler that she had, do you think it impeded her ability to act?
To emote, I think.
I think she made a choice to not do a parody of Blair. She just acted the performance. And so it seemed like Blair was being played by a 50-year-old lady. It wasn't comedy. She wasn't playing Blair. It was like Blair had been recast as this sexy old lady.
Right.
And so like it was weirdly so stilted. Like the performance was good.
Right.
But it was also so flat and so stilted.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it immensely.
Yeah.
Immensely.
Who was your favorite performer?
I loved Will Arnett and Jason Bateman
As Dink and Tim.
As Dink and Tim and John Stewart.
Yeah.
As the
Phil?
guy with the
Carl.
as Carl. And
Why do you think they changed it from he had bad skin to he was wearing a retainer?
Because it's not cool to make fun of people that way anymore. To make fun of their actual physical thing.
Acne.
Like you can make fun of a mouth
Of an
guard, but like
add-on.
but I think that the fucking VIP was Ann Dowd as Mrs. Garrett.
She was great.
She, first of all, she's in both episodes and she is the glue that held the thing together. And her performance was so beautiful. First of all, the performance was tight. Live, unbothered.
Yeah.
It was tight. It was
Different Strokes, I can't say the same.
But
like John Lithgow was a little
not
forgetful.
Yeah, but I feel like Ann Dowd was great throughout.
Yeah,
and I also feel like she also didn't do a full-on parody of the Edna character, but like the soul of the character is there. And then she kind of went her own way with it, but it was still a super valid version.
Yeah, like she didn't try to imitate the voice.
No, but like it was her, like it was Edna. I thought it was fucking. I think she should get an Emmy.
She was great.
But I enjoyed all the girls.
Do you know who could have played Blair aside from Lisa Walter? Just have her back.
Yeah.
Jane Krakowski would have turned that.
Would have turned it.
Would
have. You know what I think Jennifer didn't understand is, because maybe she didn't watch the show, is that if you watch that one episode, just that one episode, you might think that Blair's a mean girl. But she's not. Blair loves Natalie. Those girls love each other. Blair occasionally acts like a mean girl because
They're
she's
teenagers.
Because she's a teenager. But
Right.
Jennifer played her as a mean girl, and it takes the comedy away from it. You couldn't like her because of it.
Right.
And so it was just so weird.
And Will Arnett look sexy, even with that shitty ass wig. With that
Yeah.
I've
shitty wig.
always had a crush on him.
But,
Yeah.
girl, you have to watch Arrested Development, which of
Yeah.
course he's one of the stars of.
Right.
He has some nice legs, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was interesting, and I like that they got Tootie's wig so accurate.
Yeah.
But not enough Gabrielle Union.
No.
I needed more.
Yeah.
But Tootie's not anymore.
She's not really in that episode,
Yeah.
right?
But like every
Exactly.
time they Gabrielle, like even in the kitchen where she's like, "Oh no,
Girl.
girl," she has like
Oh,
a
no,
no
girl.
girl. I'm like, yes, like you could tell there was more there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it was funny, but it was so entertaining.
it was a
Yeah.
hoot.
It was so entertaining, and the different strokes, it was fine. It was fine. I
Like
thought
when
that
Kevin Hart sat on his lap like a little
was
kid.
great, and
Yeah.
Kevin Hart really does channel Gary Coleman.
Totally.
Truly,
He had the
channeled.
haircut. He had everything.
Yeah, he channeled, and also I thought Snoop was good.
Yeah.
Snoop was stoned. Like,
Down.
You could tell he was so stoned. Like I was like worried.
Yeah.
I was like, is he gonna get that line out?
We were gonna get worried that he was gonna let an F-bomb slip, and it was Norman Lear that
It was
did.
right.
Norman Lear. Yeah,
Now, are they only doing Norman Lear shows?
it's only Norman Lear shows. Yeah.
So what's next? One Day at a Time, or which have already rebooted? Hey, did Good Times?
Maud.
Oh, Maud, right?
Oh my God.
Who could play
live
Maud?
Oh, that's tough.
Mm. It's
Tall, older,
it's a tall order though.
a
because
tall,
B is
older,
so
and
great.
tall order.
A tall order.
Yeah.
Ooh. Do you know who'd be really great in that role? Escandalo, darling.
Mr.
Mrs.
Scandala.
Scandalo, darling.
Yeah.
So yes, it was interesting that they did an episode of Facts that we just covered, and I thought they did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
They did a pretty good job. The sets were fabulous.
Yeah.
Dead on.
Spot
honey,
on.
Everybody's
Yeah.
talking about the facts of life now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
I'm talking
And
about.
how Joe did not come back.
Yeah, they
did not come
explained
back.
why she didn't. She was doing something with her family.
She had just moved and her kids just started school. Honey,
Yeah.
it's December.
And this is
her kids just started
TV.
school. And she just moved, but she
But
couldn't.
she
You know
always kind of pays it.
what? You know that
She
these
maybe
girls.
maybe she gained a lot of weight.
No, she was on Dancing with the Stars about 2 years ago.
Oh, really?
Listen, these girls didn't come and do this cameo for free.
Oh, hell
They were
no.
paid to be there.
Right.
So clearly they didn't offer her enough because, honey, you could take a little plane from where you are for one night's work
Right.
and show up. You don't have to do shit.
Right.
And so clearly she was like, nope.
Right. So I mean, Blair had to sing, and Mindy Cohn spoke a little bit, and Tootie plugged her Christmas movie or whatever the hell it was.
And
Yeah.
I think she plugged it like
A little
without-
hard.
a little hard, and maybe she didn't ask about it. Like I think she just plugged it
Right.
because it
did-
kind of went over
Did
like
Jimmy
a
Kimmel look a
lead
little
nut.
plucked? He
Yeah.
looked a little plucked.
It looked a little bit plucked, and I also feel like
I
they
was
probably
plucked
went-
about that hat she wore, girl.
And,
Yeah.
and I have a feeling they probably went to each of them was like, hey, you want to throw on the uniform and sing the theme song? And they probably said no. And Lisa was like, I'll do it. And she fucking shined.
Yeah.
She
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
shined.
And closing thought on that, Jimmy Kimmel looking hot with that little beard he got going on.
He's not my
Oh.
style.
Oh,
rather
excuse
do
me.
Norman.
I was just saying he looked kind of cute.
All right.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I mean, he's no dink, obviously. I would let Jimmy Kimmel run a train on me. A Lionel train.
Meh.
Meh? Okay, all right. Well, that's just my opinion. That's just one Shadiman's opinion. Thank you for tuning in to So Auntieways. We'll catch you next time.
Bye-bye. This is Miss Matinga.
Ciao. This is Booby. Ciao. Ciao. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao, ciao. And scene.
I just ate a chow chow.
Okay.
I was hungry.
And it was scene.
The dog.
I ate a chow, yeah. I ate a
Dog,
small
darling.
chow. It gagged. I didn't even cook it. I ate it live.
Auntieways. Auntieways. Singing it like Charles Nelson Riley.
Let him do his thing, girl.